everybody, it's Zarina here from RenderCraft Academy and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to recreate famous game character from the retro game Icy Tower. It is a platform game set in a tower where the player goal is to jump from one floor to the next one and go as high as possible without falling or plunging off the screen. The higher the player climbs, the faster the tower's floors move downwards and the harder the game becomes. So this is a follow along tutorial, so grab your hot cup of coffee and let's get started. So right now we are going to be adding our reference images. So Shift A and we are going to be adding front like this, and now I'm going to press 3 and then we are going to add the side one. Here it is. I'm just going to move the side one so that this center line goes in the middle of the of our character here. Voila! So now in filters, I'm going to select this selectable and make sure that I cannot select my images in 3D viewport. Also, this second one, I've selected it here in the scene collection. I will just put the depth to back. So now I'm going to be adding a cube. Scale it down, grab it up. Now I'm going to add onto that cube a subdivision surface modifier, and I'm going to increase the number of subdivisions in viewport to 2. Scale that up. Go into the edit mode and scale this outwards a little bit more. Now I'm going to, let's make sure that this is 3. Now on the side, we are just going to follow the reference image and align it better. So I'm going to move these two as well. And I'm also going to bring it up. Awesome. Let's bring this one a little bit to the y-axis as well. Like so. I like it. Now we are going to go and add the ears. So we are just going to add a cube, scale it down, grab it right here. Let's see, let's hide these two and see, yeah. So I'm just going to add a subdivision surface modifier onto it. Then I'm going to go into the edit mode, grab it here. In object mode, I'm going to press Ctrl A and add location, rotation, and scale so that I will be able to add the mirror modifier, and it's going to be mirrored on the left side as well. So right now I'm just going to move it across the part here, like so. Let's arrange it, move the vertices, voila. Now I'm going to scale it in y-axis, then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to rotate it in z-axis, but in the edit mode. Let's press 7. Let's rotate it on the side. Let's move it back here. Okay, now I'm going to select these 4 vertices, press 3 and scale them in y-axis. Let's rotate them a little bit. Arrange them. Let's move these 2 down here. This one and this one. Awesome. Right click, shade smooth each one of them. Now we are going to go and focus on the top part here. So I'm going to add a cube, scale it down, bring it right here where the belly is. Now I will add a subdivision surface modifier, and right now I'm going to be adding a loop cut right here in the center. Then I'm going to delete the left half of the cube, subdivided cube, and I'm going to add the mirror modifier. With mirror modifier, I'm going to pull it on top of the subdivision and allow clipping. So right now I will be able to move it, and you can see that it is automatically mirrored on the left side. So let's make him a little bit of a belly here, like so. Let's extrude it once. to here, and let's extrude it once till here. Now on the side, I'm going to select the center line and scale it in y-axis. Also, I'm going to be adding one more loop cut here, and I'm going to scale it as well. So now I have a rounded shape. Before I didn't have the rounded shape, I had it more like of a cube. So now I'm going to arrange these vertices so that they follow the reference image better. Now I will make him a little bit of a tummy. Let's move these vertices back, and voila, right click, shade smooth. Now we have this part here which enables us to make the sleeves, but we will make him a little bit slimmer in this area here. So you can see that the reference image is a little bit off, so it isn't right in the center. So I'm going to go select it and grab it in x-axis. I'm going to align it perfectly here so that this black line goes in between these two. Okay, now I can disable it, and now let's just modify it a little bit more. Okay, now once we are done with that, we are going to select this cube, see it on the side, let's grab it here. We can grab all this, the part from here, right click, loop tools, circle. So now we can extrude this part down, and you can see that we automatically make the sleeves. I'm going to rotate it once more, grab it, extrude it, and that is all that we are going to do. Grab and extrude, like so. Let's go to the bottom, and we are going to arrange it later on. But first of all, let's make sure so that it follows the reference image better. So I'm going to move all of these vertices inside. This one I will pull outside a little bit, and now I will select the bottom vertices and I'll press I, and then I will extrude inside. Add one loop cut here. So this OS key means control, but Mac doesn't allow the control button to be seen. So yeah, that is the control button. So right now I'm going to go to the side, select these vertices and rotate them a little bit on the x-axis. Once I did that, I'm going to move them, slightly scale them in Y. Let's make sure that they are in the correct position. We are going to scale these as well. Scale them a little bit in y-axis. And voila! Here we have made the top part of our character. We are going to model out the trousers. So I'm going to be adding a cube, scale it down and grab it right here in the middle. Now once I'm here, I'm going to add one loop cut and I'm going to delete the left side of this object. So now I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier, increase the number of subdivisions to 2, and then add the mirror modifier. I'm going to put the mirror modifier on top of the subdivision and allow clipping. So right now I'm going to select it and I'm going to scale it like so. Let's grab it up here. Now, once I did that, I am going to select this half. Let's bring it here, extrude it once, extrude it twice, and bring it right here. So you can see that it looks like a cube. So I'm going to select the top part and I'm going to make sure that it is rounded. So I just press right click, loop tools and circle. I'm going to scale that up and bring it down. Once I did that, I'm going to scale it in y-axis and bring it up and rotate it. So you can see automatically we got this part done and this part done. Now I am going to go here and do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that it is rounded. I'm going to rotate it. let's bring these vertices here, these here, and these here. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to select the side only, this part, and extrude it down. Once I did that, I'm going to move these in the center, like so, and move these vertices like this. So I don't want them to be connected. I'm just going to move them slightly. Let's add one loop cut here in the center as well. Now let's select this part here and make it a circle. I'm going to rotate it in Z axis. I'm going to move it like this. Clipping, I'm going to get rid of it like so. Let's do the same thing here. So we let's scale it down, and let's do this part as well as we did with these. So I'm going to only rotate it in Z axis. Let's see. Let's scale it down only a little bit, so that now I will be able to move these vertices a bit like so. Okay, so you can see that they are rounded on the side as well as they need to be. I'm going to scale these a little bit more, and also this part and this part need to go out as well. The front is done, and the back we need to modify it a little bit. So I'm going to bring these outside, and I'm going to bring these inside slightly, like this. Also, this part here, I will move it slightly down inside. Let's select these two vertices, double G, and grab them outwards, as well as this one, this loop, like this. Okay, let's see it. Awesome. So right now we are just going to bring these outside so that we create this fold that we have here. Now for the bottom, we are going to insert a face, and automatically you can see this part that we can modify it real quick like this. And now we will be able to select it and extrude it inside. So this is the space for the feet. Now let's see this part one more time, and I'm satisfied how it looks like. Let's bring this one only a little bit inside, and voila, here we have a puffy trousers. We can extrude it inside and see how it looks like. Let's grab it inside. No, I think that I will leave it as it is right now. Okay, let's modify these a little bit more. So I'm just going to grab them outside, and voila guys. Now we are going to add a cube, scale it down, and put it where the foot is. Then onto that cube we are going to add a subdivision surface modifier. For our mirror modifier to work, we need to apply the location, rotation, and scale and add it. I'm going to put it on top of the subdivision modifier. Let's go into the edit mode, grab it to here. Then in X-ray mode, I'm going to select the 4 vertices and extrude it 2 times. Then once I did this, I'm going to bring this up. Let's bring this one down. Let's go back. Get this one down as well, and these as well. Let's add one loop cut here in the middle so that we can line it better. Then I'm going to select these 4 vertices and scale them in Y-axis. Once I did that, I'm going to go into the edit mode, select the bottom vertices and press I for insert. Then I'm going to select these 2 vertices and grab them, scale them in Y-axis so that they look rounder. Let's move back these, because the top part is pointy. Now into the edit mode, I'm going to select it. Let's scale it a little bit less. And then I'm going to go to edit mode, to the side view. I'm going to move the foot. I'm going to rotate it and align it better with the reference image. I'm going to bring it here. Let's scale it up even more. Rotate it in Z axis. Grab it in Y. Align it better. Let's scale it even more up. Let's grab it in X axis. And voila. Now for the side here, I'm going to select these vertices on top and grab them in X axis. Once I did that, I will grab them more in Y and X. So you can see how I move them slightly. Also, I'm going to move this one back to the X axis as well. You can see now that this part needs to be worked on. So I'm going to select these two vertices and grab them in Y axis so that I don't have the object moving inside of the shoe. Now I'm going to bring these in Y, in X, and voila. Here we have the trousers and the feet are done. Now we are going to focus on the head. So let's do first of all the nose. So I'm going to only add a cube, scale it down, add the subdivision surface modifier, scale it in Y axis, go to the side and grab it right here. Align it better. Now I'm going to select these two vertices and scale them in Y axis. Once I did that, I'm going to rotate this part and align it better with the reference image. And we are done with the nose. Right click, shade smooth. And now let's add a circle. I think that the default value is 32. So you're going to divide it by 2 so that it is 16, because it is much easier for us to work with when it's 16. Now I'm going to bring it up, select these vertices, then I'm going to turn on proportional editing. I'm going to move these vertices up like so. Let's scale them a little bit only. And now, without the proportional editing, I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude in Z axis, scale it, extrude, scale, extrude in Z axis, like so. Now I'm going to extrude and scale inside, grab it a little bit, and that is all that I'm going to be doing. So extruding and scaling it outside. Like so. We are going to make slightly curves inside here by scaling it down. So you can see that I am trying to follow the reference image all the way throughout the modeling process. So I'm going to scale it, and you can see here that this side is not the same as on the other side. So I'm going to slightly move these vertices. I'm going to extrude it in Z axis, then scale it down and align these better. So now you can see it. I'm going to extrude it one more time in Z axis, scale it down. Let's do it one more time and scale it down. Once I'm here, you can see how it looks like even from the side. I'm going to slightly move these vertices, so I'm going to rotate the head like so, and let's scale it in Y axis. I'm going to rotate it. Let's grab it at front, and we are going to modify it later on. But for now, the front view is good looking. So let's see. On the side, we are making sure that it follows the reference image better. Now I'm going to select only the top part of the head, and I'm using the grid fill. I'm going to fill in this part here. So I'm going to use 5. I think that is it. Okay, let me go back. Grid fill, 5. Span is going to be 5, 4. And I'm going to rotate it so this is going to be the center line. Now, once I did that, I'm going to make sure that I got first one selected. Turn on the proportional editing with O on your keyboard. Turn down the value of the proportional editing. Let's go across. Select this part, double G, pull it down, pull this down as well, shade smooth, and now we are going to add the subdivision surface modifier, and on top you can see how it looks like. So I will select these loops and I will circle them without the proportional editing. So I will circle it and scale it in y-axis only a little bit more. Let's rotate it. Okay, let's do this part as well. Circle, scale it down and bring it up. And also let's go with the center part. Circle. And voila. Now we are going to modify it. How? We are going to use the proportional editing for this one. So let me just go back, turn on the proportional editing and slightly grab where you want to grab it. So I'm going to scale it in x-axis so that it follows the reference image. Also for the bottom, I'm going to extrude and scale inside and extrude up. That is the front. And now for the side, we are going to use the proportional editing and move it to the y-axis. As well here, I'm going to bring it to the y-axis and slightly I'm going to pull it up. As well as this one, I'm going to bring it down. Let's select these vertices and bring them outside. Now I'm going to select this whole part. I can also use C for this one to select the front and grab it in y-axis. And voila guys. So we have the head done. And now let's make the lips. Going to turn off proportional editing and then we are going to lower down the number of subdivisions in viewport and in render to 2. We are then going to go into the object mode and apply the subdivision surface modifier. You can see now that we have this lip-like parts. So I'm going to delete the left side of the head. Then I'm going to add the mirror modifier, allow clipping, and I'm going to add one more subdivision surface modifier. Let's scale it up. Let's go to the side, scale it up here as well. Let's scale this one in x-axis a little bit down, and voila. So right now we are going to select these 3 vertices and grab them up. So with double G, I'm going to grab them up like this, and let's align these vertices a little bit better. And that's all. And now I'm going to select these 2 vertices and press V on my keyboard. V means ripping. So I ripped one vertice from another and I made the lips. So I'm going to select these 2, grab them up like this. Let's align these better with the reference image. Let's select them and extrude them inside. Once I did that, I'm going to add the loop cut. And let's scale it in Z-axis. So I'm going to select the outside, scale it a little bit more, these two, scale it in Z, scale these two in Z, and in the inside, we are just going to fill it in. So I'm going to select the inside and fill them in. This is how it's going to look like. Let's go to the side and see how it looks like. So I'm going to select the top part, bring it down so that it follows the reference image even better. Now, for the ears, we are going to apply the subdivision for 2. Let's apply it. And let's see, we need to select these 2 vertices and grab them inside using proportional editing. So I'm going to move them inside and move them down. These are the ears. Let's add one more subdivision surface modifier. We can also arrange them even better. Using proportional editing, I'm going to move the parts so that they follow the reference image even better. Voila! So guys, this is with the modeling. Now let's make the paw. So I'm going to be adding a plane, scale it down, rotate it in x-axis by 90 degrees, grab it down, scale it, and grab it outside. Once it's outside here where the belly is, I am going to go here on add modifier and add the shrink wrap modifier. I'm going to select the top part, and then also I'm going to add subdivision surface modifier, and let's see. So I'm going to scale it. Let's add one more loop cut here, scale it in x-axis, move it up. Let's select these vertices and grab them a little bit down and scale them in x-axis. Once I did that, I'm going to select it, duplicate it. Without the proportional editing, I'm going to scale it down, right click, circle. Once I did that, I'm going to scale it down even more, and then I'm going to duplicate it 2 times. Let's rotate this one in Z-axis, duplicate this one, and move it to the other side. So I'm going to rotate it even more, like so. Let's see. Awesome. Now I'm going to apply the shrink wrap modifier, and onto this I'm going to add the solidify modifier. I will put the solidify modifier on top of the subdivision, and I'm going to play with thickness. Once I got the desired thickness, I'm going to apply it. Then I'm going to select these three fingers, and I'm going to move them inside like this. Right click, shade smooth. Now I'm going to duplicate that, scale it down, rotate, press 7, rotate it even more in Z-axis, and grab it right here on our head. So I'm going to grab it, pull it inside. Let's make sure that it follows the reference image. Move this one inside a little bit more. Like this. And let's rotate this one a little bit more on the Z-axis. And voila, we are done with the paws. And one thing is left, the trousers part here. I'm going to add a cube, scale it in Y-axis. Then onto that, I am going to align it right here. Let's add a subdivision surface modifier. I'm going to extrude this part a couple of times and rotate it as well. So now I will extrude it one more time, add it here, scale it, extrude it down here as well, and add one loop cut in the middle. Now I'm going to scale it on the x-axis, rotate it, Let's grab this part. Let's rotate this part. You can see that we are trying to get a more natural shape. Let's select these vertices, grab them outside, as well as these. Grab them up. Voila. Right click, shade smooth, Control A. We want to apply the location, rotation, and scale. Let's grab it a bit outside, and voila. Do you want to learn how to use Blender and become a good 3D artist? Why don't you join the Ultimate Blender Academy with over 80 courses inside? Check out our online academy, rendercraft.com. With a price same as Netflix, it's your choice. Should you watch a movie or create one? Also, we have a surprise for you guys. Because we are all in this New Year's, New Me resolution mindset, we all want our six packs and knowledge about different topics. We are running 30% discount code for those who want to start immediately with learning 3D and also becoming a part of our 3D world. The discount code will be in the description down below, and also it will last till the end of the month. So let's go back and finish our model. We're going to be adding some materials and textures to our character as well using Blender Kit add-on. So the first thing that I will do is I will go here to Material Preview, then I will go here and press End on our End pad, and here under Blender Kit we have materials. So the first material that we are going to use is for this one. So we are going to just type hat. Here we have a lot of these materials, but we want it to be fabric. So let's go with the fabric and let's choose one. We are going to be using this fabric. I'm going to be adding it onto the hat. Let's go back here and change this editor to shader editor. Now I'm going to press I and unwrap it with the Smart UV unwrap and island margin to 0.010. So now I'm going to go into the UV editing, scale it up, and here I will add color ramp, add it here, change this black color to blue, and change this white color to blue as well. So let's select this empty and move it to the side. So I'm going to grab it on the x-axis. You can see that it needs to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to make it darker even more. I'm going to make it darker this part. And voila. Because we have the HDRI onto this one, you can see the difference between these two. And also, I think that I will scale down the face a little bit only. Awesome. So now we have it here. I will add the same fabric as I did for the hat to the paw here, and I will click here under 2, and I will change this to yellow. I will also move this one and change this one to yellow as well. Let's make this one a little bit lighter. Okay, and also you can change the size, and yeah, you can change it whatever you want. So you can see how it looks right now. I will do the same fabric to here, and now we need wool for the jumper of our character. So I will add, let's try this red one. Let's press tab and then unwrap it. You can see that we have a problem here. So I'm going to Smart UV project like this. Let's go now to UV editing, scale it up, and go back to layout and see how it looks like. Awesome. Now, once we are done there, you can see that we accidentally added a different color here. So let's return it to this fabric. And now let's add the color ramp to the jumper here. And we need to add green material. So I'm going to add a green material, and here I'm going to get green material as well. Now I like the way it looks, but I'm going to even more increase it in editing, so it looks like this. And now I'm going to select the bottom vertices here and press plus, Control plus 2 times. And here I'm going to add plus in material properties, and I'm going to add a material to the character's hands. So this is going to be material for the hands. I'm going to also turn up the subsurface a little bit more, and let's add it to the face and ears and nose. You see that he is a little bit orange, so we are going to change that. He's too pink. This is the color that we aimed for. Now for the jeans, we want to tie down jeans, turn up this eye. Here we have a lot of different patterns of jeans, so we want to use this one. I'm going to select them, and I'm going to add the jeans ones. I'm going to select it and Smart UV project it. Let's go to UV editing, scale it up. So we are just going to do it like this. Let's try to unwrap it. Yeah, I think that now it looks even better. Like so. And now here under color ramp, I'm going to add like the olive pigment of green. So between green and yellow. And here I'm going to add brownish color. I'll show it to you right now. Let's make this one even darker. Awesome. Here I'm going to add the same material. We can go back here and slightly scale it down so that we can see the pattern. And now here we need leather. So leather material, and we will choose this one. Because why not? You can choose from whichever you want. I'm going to select it, unwrap it. Let's Smart UV project it. Like so. I'm going to go to UV editing, select it, scale it up. So you can see that we have a letter pattern. Now I'm going to add a plane. I'm going to scale him up and rotate him in x-axis by 90 degrees. I'm going to now press 3 and move it to the side. Then I'm going to pull it up like so. I'm going to also add a cube, scale it in y-axis and bring it down here. Let's scale it a little bit more. Like this. Make sure that the character is standing on the cube. Like this. Now I am going to bevel the cube, like so. Let's go and select the vertices, scale them in Y, so that we have a cube like this. Now onto the plane, I'm going to add the brick texture, red brick texture, and here it is. So I'm going to add this texture to it, and onto here I'm going to add the rock. Let's see which one. I think that I will do this one. Let's select it. I want to scale the rock even more, so like this. Now I'm going to add a camera. Let's press 3, move it up. Here we have it. So I'm going to move it a little bit more up, like so. And now I'm going to go here under render engine, change it to cycles, turn on denoise, then go down here and let's make the color management. So I'm going to add medium high contrast or higher contrast. Then I will go to render view. You can see that I don't have any textures on. So I'm going to delete this, and when I go out of the object to world shading editor, I will click on the background and press Ctrl T. Then I will have my environment texture. I will open HDRI that I downloaded from polyheaven.com, which you can also go and check. I will add this one. So this is Studio Small. Then I will go back here and change the samples to 128. Then I will go down here, see if everything is okay. Yeah. And now I will go here to output properties. I will choose the file which I want this render to be, and I will render it out as PNG. Now we are able to go here and render our final image. So that was it. I hope that you had fun creating this model, and if you have any questions about this video, let me know in the comments down below and I will try to help you as soon as possible. One more time, check out our online academy, rendercraft.com, for more learning content, and let's blend this here like never before. Until the next video, bye!